stories told about high school football quarterback. He was in a country town where, and we all relate to like uh, those mystical football or basketball teams. Like if you've ever seen Remember the Titans or Friday Night Lights or Mighty Ducks, for crying out loud, yeah, yeah, go get him. But he was playing as a senior as quarterback for this country team, but his junior year had done really well. That's why they made him quarterback. But his senior year, and all the athletes in the room understand, you just can go through time periods where it's just not happening, and it wasn't for him. It wasn't going well, and so they were heading into their big game. It was senior night, and that country high school, like most colleges, high schools, had an arch rival, and so they were going to play, and so he knew he probably would be put in for the first few minutes, but the backup quarterback was doing much better than he, and so he said, "Hey, I'll at least he'll let me play a little bit." Monday night, though, he was called out of practice, and the game was Saturday night, and received the news none of us ever want to hear about somebody we love, but he received the news that his dad had had a stroke, much like my husband had, but the stroke had kicked an aneurysm into reality. And so he raced to the emergency and then was there when his dad took his last breath. Word, of course, spread immediately to the team and the coach. The next day, the coach, being a man of integrity, was on the seniors' front doorstep just saying, "Listen, I know I can't make it better, but I just want you to know that on behalf of all the guys on the team and myself, gosh, we're so sorry. You've lost your dad." And he spent a few minutes together with him, and then he said, "Listen, I know you won't be playing in the game Friday night, but we and the team will all be there Saturday morning to support you at your dad's funeral." And the senior in high school, the quarterback, got real amped when he said this. He said, "Oh, Coach, no, I know I've had a bad season. And I know you may not be able to keep me in long, but I'm begging you. I want to play in that game worse than I've ever wanted to play in my life. I'm begging you, sir, respectfully. At least let me start. And then if I don't perform, you can pull me out." And the coach was taken back by that. He was just trying to be kind to the young man. He said, "Gosh, yes, of course, but I just thought with your dad's funeral and all of this, you wouldn't emotion." No, I really want to play." And so you're fast forwarding and figuring out the end of the story, or I wouldn't be telling you. When Friday night came, that senior in high school played like a man from another world. The passes were all magic. Gosh, he was everything he had been his junior year on steroids. He wasn't on steroids, by the way, but when I said that was wrong way to say, enlarged, amazing. So they not only won against their arch rival, but they won big, and they put him, as teams often do, they grabbed him on the field, put him on their shoulders, and carried him off screaming and yelling. And they got to the locker room, and after everybody, had just, gosh, it was unbelievable victory. Unbelievable. Things calmed down a little bit. The coach said, loud enough for the whole team to hear. He said, "What happened to you out there?" Kid's name was Rob. "Rob, really, I've never seen you play. I'm not sure that this high school has ever seen a quarterback have that kind of a game before. What happened?" And the senior in high school said, "Oh, Coach, I love my dad. And what most of you know is that my dad has not been at my games because I'd explained to those of you that asked, gosh, when I was only around 4, his retina severed, and he's been blind all these growing up years. And what some of you don't know is that I, along with my mom and dad, our family, we're Christ followers. So I know where my dad is right now. He's really in heaven. And Hebrews 11 has this portion in the scripture where it says that some of the saints lean over, as it were, the balconies of heaven watching us. So, Coach, tonight, why'd I play hard? For the first time, my father watched me play ball. Why am I determined to keep my accent sharp? 1,000 reasons that I've been having for many years since I began the journey with him. But now I got a new one because I got an amazing hero probably leaning over the balconies occasionally, watching me play ball. Now, listen, let me tell you, you don't have to have somebody you love deeply in heaven watching you to feel motivation. I want to remind you, why are you fighting for your spiritual accent to remain sharp, to come back and say, I'm going to figure out where I dropped it so I can make some tweaks in my life, some changes. For some of you, it will be small. For others of you, they will be large ones. I spoke to a lady at the end of first service, and I won't say too much, but she's facing a major concern, and she'll have to make some major decisions for her accent to be what she wants it to be. But here's what I say to all of you. The game we're in now, for kingdom purposes, folks, this isn't warm up. We're in fourth quarter. I know that. We're in fourth quarter. And so, listen, our Father's watching us play ball.